Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West Adventurous Kids, learning and fun. Adventurous Kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about the Lost Colony of Roanoke. Roanoke Colony was the first attempt by the English to establish a colony in the Americas. Unfortunately, the colony failed when the settlers disappeared under mysterious circumstances, giving the colony the nickname the Lost Colony. The Roanoke Colony was located on Roanoke Island off the coast of North Carolina. The land was considered part of Virginia at the time. Roanoke Island is about 8 miles long and 2 miles wide. In 1584, the land of Virginia in North America was granted to Sir Walter Raleigh by Queen Elizabeth I. The British hoped to establish foothold in the Americas to expand their empire. Raleigh sent out Captain Philip Amata and Captain Arthur Barlow to explore the area. They discovered Roanoke Island and met the local natives. Raleigh decided this would be a good place to establish a colony. The first expedition to Roanoke was led by Sir Richard Greenville. The expedition arrived at Roanoke in 1585. Greenville left 107 settlers, all men at Roanoke under the charge of Ralph Lang. Greenville then returned to England in order to gather additional supplies for the settlement. The settlers built a fort at Roanoke but struggled to survive. It didn't help matters that they were constantly fighting with the local Native Americans when English explorer Sir Francis Drake passed by the settlement and offered to take them back to England. The colonists agreed. Not long after the colonists left, Captain Greenville finally returned with new supplies, only to discover that the settlement had been abandoned. He left a small group of men on the island and returned to England. A second attempt at starting a colony at Roanoke occurred in 1587. This time, 115 colonists traveled to Roanoke, led by John White. They hoped to find men that Greenville had left a year earlier. However, upon their arrival, all they found at the settlement was a human skeleton. Despite this setback, the colonists began to build their settlement on Roanoke. Not long after their arrival, a girl named Virginia Dare was born. She was the first child born in the Americas to English parents. Virginia Dare was the granddaughter of the colony's leader and governor, John White. White soon returned to England to get more supplies for the colony. However, the approaching war between England and Spain prevented him from attaining a ship with which to leave the colony. By the time White had returned to the island in 1590, everyone had vanished. The only trace of the lost colony was Croatian carved into a fence post and CRO carved into a tree. White found no sign of a struggle, however, and figured that the colonists had moved to Croatian, which was what they called a nearby island, Hatteras Island. He also had reason to hope because he had told the colonists to carve a Maltese cross if they were being forced to leave. Since he found no cross, he figured the colonists were okay. White was unable to search the nearby island for the colonists because of a bad storm and was forced to return to England. Croatian was the name of a nearby island as well as a local group of Native Americans. A study of the tree rings indicated that the area underwent an extremely severe drought during the late 1580s. In any event, the mystery of the lost colony has never been solved. No one is sure where the colony was located on the island. Is it likely that the settlement currently underwater due to erosion? Many theories about the disappearance of Roanoke colony. Many historians think that the colonists moved. They probably moved to Hatteras Island or further inland into the forests of North Carolina. The colonists have eventually starved to death or been killed by local tribes. Many also have survived, made friends with a local tribe, and eventually became part of the tribe. One theory is that they became a part of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. Another theory is that the Spanish, who didn't want the English in the Americas, destroyed the settlement and took the colonists captive. Since 1937, the story of the settlement has been portrayed near Monteo, Roanoke Island in an outdoor drama, The Lost Colony by Paul Green. The island's Fort Riley National Historic Site is a restoration of the lost English colony. A bridge was built to Roanoke Island in 2002. It is called the Virginia Dare Memorial Bridge. Thank you for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids. Yeehaw!
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.